What it do? It's your boy. I switched to Premiere Pro. I've been using Final Cut Pro 10 for a minute. I've been using Final Cut Pro for a while. Back in school, I had Final Cut 7 or whatever it was. And now I just got a marketing job doing the video stuff for them. They use Premiere. They were like, yeah, so you're going to have to learn how to use this. And I'm like, man, one part of me was like, damn, I could just do the edits in Final Cut. But Adobe has like a sharing option or whatever in their thing. So two people can be working on a project at the same time or whatever. Just easier for group projects. I think it's called like grouping, or I don't even know what it's called. But so I switched on to Adobe and used it for a little bit, and the organizing is weird. It's difficult for me. Just everything sequences like it's so, if you don't know what you're doing, it gets very cluttered, and I'm not good at organizing my footage, like different folders and folders and folders, like, which obviously is my bad. Yeah, so anyways, I used it and I like it a lot. It's weird because Final Cut Pro has doing titles. Like, I know you can buy pre-made titles or whatever, but it's just weird because Final Cut has all that stuff right there. You go to make a title and you can do, you know, the 3D custom and change it all. In Adobe, you have to, when you make a title, like, you can only make a title and then you have to physically change it yourself, which is, I mean, it's good because, you know, it's your own style, your own title. But it was just different for me. I was just like, damn, like, we were doing titles and I'm like, I could bang this out in Final Cut right now. One thing that I really do love about Premiere Pro is they have the coloring, so you can color your clips. And we did a project where it was like a couple different people speaking. You know, one guy was orange, one guy was blue, one guy was red. Just picking out what good sections they had, you know, when they were talking. And when we were editing it, it's just, oh, didn't this guy say something? And like, you could just jump to their spot because you knew what ones he answered, or you know what I mean. So I like that a lot. That actually was really helpful. And it just seems like there's a lot more you can do. You know, everything's kind of laid out in Final Cut. In Adobe, you can kind of do anything you want. And I know you can, you know, do something in After Effects, transfer it to Final Cut. And so I'm not saying Final Cut is simple at all. I'm just saying Adobe is much more complicated. But I like it. I like it a lot. It took me a while to get used to when you drag a clip in, you have the video file and the audio file. In Final Cut, it brings it both in as one, and then you can detach the audio, which is great. But it takes a minute to get used to, because if you have a couple different clips, you know, you're stacking on top of each other, then you also have the audio clips of those too. So one thing that was huge with Adobe is you can align the audio. So you highlight the clips that you want, and say you're doing a music video too, you can highlight 50 clips with the track audio that you have. What is it called? I don't know. It's like synchronized audio, I think. And you synchronize audio, and it matches up, like, it does its little algorithms or whatever. It'll find the parts that people are saying and line it up to the audio perfectly. It's amazing. And that has, you know, in Final Cut, I've just been, you know, doing it by, you know, you can either clap and get the spikes and you kind of know where it is, but then you have to manually do it. That's kind of what I've been doing. Adobe or Premiere it worked out great. Yeah, I love that part of it. And yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to get better and better at it. It's very confusing. If anyone's used Photoshop or After Effects, I mean, I haven't even dove into After Effects yet, and that is a whole nother thing. I'm really liking Premiere. It's awesome. There's a lot of cool things you can do. I feel like it just gets you better as an editor because you have to, you know, do a lot more to make, you know, to do things. You can do the transitions, you can get, you know, pre-done transitions or whatever, but you're really making the things from scratch, I think, and it's helping me out, you know, editing wise. And yeah, I mean, my only thing is I have to get better at organizing my footage, because you can have folders on folders, sequences on sequences, and just bins, and I just can't wrap my head around all that stuff because Final Cut just isn't that intricate. So yeah, I've done a couple projects in Premiere. What's good is I know both. I know Final Cut, and I'm starting to learn Premiere. Like, I know enough where I can get something done in it. And am dying to learn more. So all I'm doing is learning, and trying to get it down. So what one would I pick, Final Cut or Premiere? I guess it doesn't really matter, whatever one. The one thing I do like is Final Cut is a flat rate, so you pay $300 and you have it. Adobe Premiere is $50 a month, and I mean it's worth it if you think about it. When you're doing, if you do one video job for a couple $100, $1,000, whatever, that's you're paying for the year for Adobe, and you get Photoshop and you get Lightroom and all that stuff. So if you do photos and whatever, you also get all that. So, and they're always updating. That's why it's, they're charging monthly. They're always updating. They're always bringing something new. Final Cut Pro is great. It's fast. If you need to bang out a vlog or a quick edit, I think it's just much faster to get something done. In Premiere, it kind of, I mean, obviously the people that know it, can bang it out quick, but it's a little bit longer process. I'm still working on getting better at, learning that kind of stuff. I really like Premiere Pro. It's so far working out for me great. I did the 7-day trial, and I think that they need to bump that up to like 30-day trial, because who can learn an editing system in 7 days unless you're working every single day on it? So that was my only complaint with when I was trying it out. It wasn't long enough for me to really learn it enough to, get stuff done. They're both great programs. I'm very used to Final Cut, but I'm starting to use Premiere Pro a lot more, especially at work and stuff, obviously. So I'm glad I know both. It's only good in the long run. So let's go.